My honey,
Yes, love.
I can't believe you're finally home to buy our dream apartment.
Yes, my love. The Cedarwood luxury apartment and terraces have always been the dream.
Yes, I'm so happy. Wow, this view, I love it so much.
This space, so perfect.
Will be forever, or I'll never fall in love.
How?
In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight
This kitchen is a cherry tree.
seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart.
Leave the Cedarwood dream. Subscribe today.
Feel that you feel that way too.
All right. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria. Good morning to you. Good morning to you and yours. How are you all doing? Trust you had a wonderful night's rest, and I'm very sure. I hope you are having a good Monday morning. This is 10:05. We are Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and welcome to this week's edition of Table Talk. Table Talk is a platform where we come together and talk on the table. Yes, all right. So, what we do right here every Monday morning by 10 a.m. is very simple. We come together to talk about things that is worth talking about, and today is not an exception. I'm super excited to come your way this beautiful week. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful week. Yes, it is a wonderful day already, and I hope your day is already going fine as planned. Yes, I love to ask that question. I want to know where you are at this very moment. I want to know what you are up to. I want to know what you're up to and what is up to you. What are you up to, and what exactly are you doing? Are you in traffic? Are you in the office? Are you planning to get breakfast? Are you getting are you getting the best of the day already? How is your mid-morning going? How is your Monday mid-morning going? On Table Talk every Monday, we come together to talk about things that is worth talking about. We look into different stories making the rounds. We carefully select a few. We bring them to the fore. We talk about them and also give you the opportunity to talk about them, your opinions, your suggestions, any story that is of interest to you. Feel free to be part of the conversation. You can do that via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp platform with the numbers right there on the screen. 09133833507 is the number to send your WhatsApp message and also to put a call through to us. Any of the stories that I'll be presenting to you this morning that is of interest to you, feel free to talk about them. You can do that via the comment section, and you can also do that via our WhatsApp platform. First and foremost, I will begin with a summary of everything that a summary of what the Nigerian newspapers are talking about this morning. Yes, I want to bring to you, and this is how I begin the Table Talk show every Monday morning. I bring to you a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. So if you're ready, I am ready. Do not forget to like, to comment, and to share. All right, first and foremost, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Sunday expressed deep displeasure over the killing of army officers and soldiers. Why am I getting tongue twisted this morning? On a peace mission in Delta State community, describing it as a direct affront to the nation. The military, which expressed indignation, was ordered by the president to fish out the killers and bring them to book. Number two, yes, the federal government is seeking to raise 450 billion naira from the investing public in a new debt insurance aimed at bridging the government's deficit and deepening the domestic capital market. It was learned last night that the Debt Management Office, DMO, which oversees the issuance and management of Nigeria's sovereign debt, will today conduct a primary market auction, PMA, for 3 issuances through which it aimed to raise the funds. All right, number 3. Vladimir Putin has secured another 6-year term as Russian president. Exit polls showed Sunday paving the way for the headline former spy to become the longest serving Russian leader in more than 200 years. All right, yes, Vladimir Putin has secured another 6-year term as Russian president. Exit polls showed Sunday, paving the way for the headline former spy to become the longest serving Russian leader in more than 200 years. Number 4, Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State says he is yet to receive any salary since he assumed office 2 years ago. Soludo disclosed this Sunday in Accra, the state's capital, during the celebration. Awka, yes, in Awka, the state's capital, during the celebration of 2 years anniversary of his administration. So, in other words, 2 years of his administration has not received. He has not received his salary. Okay, that's awesome. Human rights lawyer number 5, Femi Falana, SAN, on Sunday condemned the destruction of Okwama community in Delta State due to the killing of soldiers. In a statement, he personally signed an accord for an end to attacks on innocent citizens, saying collective punishment is a serious offense under domestic and international law. Okay, yeah, let's move on to number 6. The Senate has warned the executive against increasing the budget size through a supplementary budget, advising the government to use the excess savings that are expected to be made from the recent depreciation of the naira to fund the deficit. This came against the backdrop of the depreciation of the local currency against the United States dollar from 900 naira per dollar to over 1,500 naira per dollar. Following a series of moves by the Central Bank of Nigeria to unify the parallel and official market exchange rate of the naira. Number 7, a Chinese national identified simply as ES Pong is currently on the run after allegedly using an electric shocker on one of his father's employees, known as Kelvin Godwin, at a timber factory in Cedarwood. It was learned that the incident occurred at a timber forest on the Cedarwood Owa Express Road last Thursday. Cedarwood Owa. Yeah. Number 8, the 8 lawmakers suspended by the Zamfara State House of Assembly on Sunday said they have been hunted out of the state by political thugs for exposing the increasing wave of insecurity in the state. They also said the House has written to them to return their official vehicles to the clerk. Number 9, the Jigawa State Police Command has confirmed the deaths of 3 students in a tragic accident on the Jahu Kayawa Road in the state. The command's public relations officer Lawan Adam confirmed the incident in a statement issued to newsmen on Sunday. And then number 10, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested a 20-year-old hairstylist, Josephine Dunu, and a dispatch rider, Edesimi Ikoro 30, for selling and distributing illicit drugs, laced chin to students at and a social parties. To students and at social parties in Yonogwa, Bayelsa State. Spokesman of the NDLEA, Femi Baba Femi, said this in a statement on Sunday. Have you noticed that NDLEA is always in the news, like literally every week? Yeah. And it's a good one for the fact that they are, they've been consistent in several happenings these days. They've been consistent. They've been present in several news headlines, and which is a good one. All right, we'll begin with this very one. Those are the summaries. Those are what I've just read to you is a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about this beautiful Monday morning, and then we segue into several other stories that we have selected to talk about this morning. And we'll begin with this very one that is literally everywhere, the talk of the town. The killing of why am I mispronouncing this word this morning? Yes, it is pronounced soldiers. All right. The killing of soldiers. Military says siege to Bayelsa Delta creeks. Okay, now this is quite unfortunate. I was on Twitter over the night reading different comments and different people saying different things. Now let's take this let's take this story. On EasyCam pervaded the coastal districts of the Bayelsa State and Delta States yesterday as 10 looking armed soldiers combed the creeks of the two states in search of the killers of 16 soldiers of the Nigerian army suspected to have been murdered by youth of the Okwama community in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State on Thursday. Now, apparently, to underscore the seriousness of the assignment, fresh troops have been deployed in the areas, especially the troubled scenes and other adjoining Ijaw and Uhobo communities in the two neighboring states. Businesses and other normal life activities were paralyzed in the areas under surveillance by the troops. Impeccable security source told leadership that 6 gunboats were also deployed in the exercise. The gunboats were stationed at the jetty of Okwama community, obviously to tame the recalcitrant youths. Already, leadership gathered that military authorities have penciled down the names of the hoodlums responsible for the evil, bad, barbaric act for arrest. Now, leadership recalls that 16 soldiers, including the commanding officer of 181 Amphibious Battalion, Bomadi Bomadi, a lieutenant colonel, 2 army majors, and army captain, and 12 other personnel who were on peacemaking mission in the Okwama community were ambushed, killed in yet unclear circumstance on Thursday. The headless corpse of 14 of the fallen soldiers were recovered from the waters of Okwama community on Saturday evening. Now, it was further gathered that the bodies of the soldiers were dismembered by youths. The chief of army staff, COAS, Lieutenant Taurid Lagbaja, is expected to visit the scene today, being Monday, obviously to appraise the situation and evaluate the effort aimed at apprehending the miscreant. Leadership also gathered that the military, in extending the search for the hoodlums beyond Okwama Creeks, and we're working on the information that those involved in the heinous crimes had fled to various communities in Bayelsa State and Delta State in order to escape arrest. Specifically, a suspected ringleader of the killer squad, whose mother reportedly hailed from Okwama community, was reported to have fled to her paternal community in Bayelsa State. Okwama community was deserted yesterday. Indigents have relocated to safe havens outside the troubled community for fear of being caught up in the reprisal invasion of the troops. Unconfirmed report also revealed that some indigents of the community were killed as the reinforcement of a combined team of the various units of the armed force arrived in the community on Saturday. Traditional ruler of the area, the Uhukwe of Ewu, Uhobo, HRM, Clement Ikolo, is reported to have relocated to Asaba, the state capital. Angry troops were reported to have touched a few buildings, a few buildings suspected to be owned by the suspected killers of the soldiers. Now, a reliable source in the military circle said, "We now have sufficient numbers of men, troops on ground in Okwama, and its environs to effect the arrest of the killers of our officers and military men. We have 6 gunboats by the jetty of Okwama, and we are combining with the neighboring creeks of Bayelsa and Delta for the killers who had already fled to areas they considered as safe haven. I'll take this last paragraph, but we must apprehend them. The leader, whose mother is from Okwama, has fled to his paternal community in Bayelsa State. We must get him and his accomplice. They can't waste that number of officers and men and go scot-free. Added our source who pleaded that his name should not be mentioned in print. The Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Takor Gassiu, had in a statement confirming the disheartening act on Saturday. He said the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, had ordered the immediate arrest and investigation of all those involved. I saw a video of someone saying something that why would the youths carry out such acts? And in that video, he was trying to say that, remember what happened during Obasanjo time. Remember what happened during this person's time. Remember what happened during that person's time. Now, irrespective of what has happened for cases that are similar to this, irrespective of what has happened in time past for cases, what has happened for cases similar to this, it would be so unfair. It would be so unfortunate. Yeah, the best word to use now is so unfair. It would be so unfair if innocent lives are affected. It would not be good at all. If I'm permitted to use the word, so unprofessional, if those that are not concerned are affected, if innocent lives are affected. Because from what people are saying, that you don't kill, yes, I agree with that, with them. That is trouble for that community. You know, people started citing examples of what happened in Bayelsa State and some other states where, you know, the community was razed down and all that, people were killed and properties were destroyed as a retaliation from the military. I think we shouldn't allow it to happen that way. So I want to make an appeal on this platform, and I hope they are hearing me, they can hear me. Those that are involved in that very barbaric act should be the only one to suffer the consequences of their action. And every other person, the community, yeah, I read that, you know, some houses were burnt. I saw videos of burnt houses and all that. Is it possible that innocent lives are not affected? And again, to the younger ones, to the youths. Now, these military men, these soldiers came for peace mission assignment, peacemaking assignment. Why on earth would you go as far as, what kind of demonic anger is that? Irrespective of what has happened, irrespective of, you see, sometimes we should be careful when we take decisions and carry out some actions, because at the end of the day, there is consequences to everything that we do in life. Now you have brought unrest to that community. You have brought unrest to even your family members, businesses and all that. And the first thing that came to my mind was real estate companies that are booming in Delta State. Yes, this will start affecting investment. This will start affecting, you know, generally businesses of different categories, especially those in the real estate. So we must begin to learn how to be civil and orderly. Unnecessary fight. You fight for land, you fight for space, you fight for this. At the end of the day, you lose your life and the lives of others are lost. And that thing that you are fighting for is still there. Another generation will come up tomorrow, and why can't we just come to a compromise? We are humans, for crying out loud. All right. Let's move on to the next story. My time is running. Yes, this time around, I'll be reading from the Vanguard newspaper. This very story we selected from the Vanguard newspaper. One of the stories that we picked from the Vanguard newspaper. Hardship Nigeria going through inevitable pains. Soludo. Governor Chukwuemeka Soludo of Anambra State believes Nigeria's biting economic situation is an inevitable phase for the betterment of the nation. Soludo stated this in an interview on Channels Television's Sunday Politics. Recall that Nigeria's inflation level rose to 13.70% in February, with the cost of living shooting up in the wake of the fuel subsidy removal and the floating of the naira. Reacting to the development, Soludo said this is a phase needed before the country begins to flourish. Do you believe that this is a phase? Do you believe, according to the words of Soludo, that this is a phase needed before the country begins to flourish? I would love to hear from you and take your response to any of the stories that we are taking this morning. Do not forget you can do that via the comment section and also via our WhatsApp platform. All right, I continue to read. He said, you see, sometimes I kind of feel we don't get it. On the nation's economy, Soludo likened the country's situation to a patient undergoing treatment. He said, but whether there will be pains for any step you take or the other, it is going to be it is going to be. It is inevitable, but it is obviously what we need to pass through, he said, maintaining that President Bola Tinubu inherited a bad economy upon assumption of office in May 2023. Some people are now saying, did he not know that the economy was bad before he went for the position? Why are we still using that as an excuse? You knew the economy was bad before you went for the position, and you were supposed to go there with the intention of making the situation better. But it seems like situation is not better, but it has gone worse. And now Soludo is saying that this is a phase the country needs to go through for a better tomorrow. Do you agree with that school of thoughts by the governor of Anambra State in the person of Governor Chukwuma Soludo? Do you agree with that? And what is your take on that particular one? I'll take a few paragraphs of this story and then I'll move to the next. It is inevitable, but that it is obvious that we need to pass through. It is obvious that we need to pass through it. We need to go through this phase. He said, maintaining that President Bola, we must realize that things were really bad. We must get it clear that there is no easy way to get this patient who has multiple problems to become better, Soludo added. Soludo, who is making his second year in office, also spoke about the achievements since 2022, adding that his government has created jobs for the masses. In the first 9 months of coming into office, we have employed over 5,000 teachers and processing 2,000 more, the former Central Bank of Nigeria CBN governor said. Okay, what's your take on this very one? Let's move on to the next story. And this time around, we are taking our story, from the Vanguard still. How FG funds petrol subsidy through crude oil sales proceed. So they want to tell us how they were able to fund petrol subsidy through crude oil sales proceed. Now, let's take a brief into that story. As subsidy spending hits 17.7 billion naira daily, marketers put landing cost above 1,000 per liter. Say independents no longer get products. Lagos. All right, there are indications that the federal government, through the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, is now spending 17.72 billion naira daily to fund subsidy on petrol. Though still shrouded in secrecy, the funding strategy Vanguard Lands is consummated by way of crude sales and direct cost recovery by NNPC. An executive of a major petroleum marketing company in Lagos told Vanguard that the 17.7 billion naira subsidy cost represents the difference between landing cost of imported petroleum products and effective wholesale price to petroleum marketers. Nigeria imports all the petrol it consumes, and according to the chief executive, Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority, Farouk Ahmed, daily petrol consumption in the country is around 44.3 million liters. At current average depot price and exchange rate, the FG through NNPC may be incurring about 531 billion naira losses or revenue shorts for monthly. Now, this has now been reflected in the monthly Federation Account Allocation Committee FAAC reports. The NNPC also deduct the shortfall from its remittances to the Federation account, but the final distributable balance remains significantly higher than the pre-May 30, 2023 figures due to higher product prices. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had on 29th of May 2023 inauguration address declared the subsidies on petrol had ended. His declaration immediately led to a hike in the pump price of fuel to 480 naira per liter, lower limit from 185 naira per liter. The upper limit was around 560 naira. 2 months later, pump price moved again to over 600 naira per liter, with NNPC retail dispensing at 617 naira per liter in Abuja, while independents and major marketers sold at 627 naira per liter. The upper limit in some locations hovered around 680 naira per liter. Now, since then, while NNPC owned stations and affiliates have maintained the 617 naira per liter rate, prices at the independents and major marketers have soared to 660 naira to 680 naira per liter. In some states of the Federation, the upper limit had gone up to 750 naira. Let me take this last paragraph. Data clothed in secrecy. Vanguard efforts to get Finance Ministry's official data on petrol import prices were rebuffed, while the regular FAAC breakdown of remittances by the NNPC had been removed from public communications, contrary to the practice a year ago. Also, NNPC declined to release its information on petroleum imports, saying that is now running as a private company and therefore not obligated to making its trading information public. I smile. Contrary to the position of the federal government, petroleum marketers have insisted that the current landing price is above 1,000 naira per liter, meaning the government was paying the difference. According to them, the major cost determinant is the exchange rate, which had seen the naira depreciate by almost 200% since May 29, 2023 declaration. NNPC Limited remains sole importer of the product as scarcity of foreign exchange killed the furor that greeted the passage of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 that provided for the regulation of the downstream sector of the petroleum industry. The act was expected to usher in an era of free market in the downstream sector where marketers will be able to import and sell at competitive prices. Please, I want you to pick up this story from the Vanguard. Yes, please pick it up. It is quite lengthy because it was able to touch. Now, I'm able to touch the marketer's view. I'm able to touch the fact that data clothed in secrecy from this same story. Now, the story further touches on YFG was forced to back. YFG was forced back to subsidy, and also it talked about the fact that financial statements should be published to bring everything clearer. My question is, okay, it also talked about the fact that subsidy has crept back into the price of petrol. It also talked about the fact that withholding information undermines public confidence. You see, this petroleum subsidy of it is it's a very, very deep. Let me use the word deep earthworm that is eating deeply. Please, if you can, because of my time, please pick up the Vanguard. You can do that online. How FG funds petrol subsidy through crude oil sales proceed. Pick it up and then read further. Yes, I mean, my duty is to bring you an update. So I have brought you the latest update. So I'm giving you the assignment to go further into that very, very conversation. I have taken so much time and I've not even touched the many powers that I came. I've not even touched some of the powers that I came with this morning. All right, I'll try and do justice to this in 5-10 minutes and then I'll be out of here. Now, this one says tension in schools as terrorists kidnap over 800 in 1 week, kills scores. This is from Daily Post. Safety of school children is again under scrutiny as bandits carry out audacious, that's the word, audacious attacks across the northern part of the country. Daily Post reports that from Wednesday, March 6 to Monday, March 11, about 800 unsuspecting Nigerians, mostly school children, were kidnapped by daredevil terrorists in the northern part of the country. According to Amnesty International AI, Boko Haram terrorists abducted over 400 people, including women and children, in Borno State on Tuesday last week. The Islamic extremists abducted the victims who reportedly left the internally displaced persons IDPs camp in Gomboru, Ngala Council area to search for firewood. The victims were mostly women and children sacked from their ancestral homes by the terrorists, causing mayhem in the northeast. Barely 24 hours after the Borno attack, over 280 pupils and teachers of government secondary school and LEA primary school at Kuriga, Kaduna State were abducted by the bandits on March 8, triggering national outrage. The bloodthirsty bandits invaded the Kurigi area of the Chikun local government area of Kaduna State in the morning, shooting at victims before taking away at least 280 of the pupils and teachers. A few days after the Kuriga incident, the assailants struck again in Buddha community in Kujuru local government area of Kaduna State, abducting over 61. I'm just tired of this story. This is... My dear listeners and viewers, via the comment section and also WhatsApp platform, what do you think is the solution to this menace in the northeast. Because this is quite unfortunate. We are talking about human lives. The audacity for these people to do what they are doing over and over and over and over and over again. It is the audacity for me. Let's move on to the Punch newspaper. It says here that consumers lament POS machine shortage at Lagos discounted food markets. Yes, that's one of the stories that we picked from the Punch to talk about this morning. Some residents of Lagos State on Sunday lamented the inadequate number of point of sale machines as the state's discounted food market opened in 27 locations. The initiative, tagged Onje Eko, was part of the measures put in place by the state government to address the food crisis in the country. Nigerians have in recent times been grappling with skyrocketing food prices as a result of mounting inflation, which the National Bureau of Statistics puts at over 30% in the latest report. The news agency of Nigeria reported that buyers who thronged the discounted food market on Sunday, hoping to buy subsidized foodstuffs, were frustrated by the inadequate number of POS machines at the centers. A NAT correspondent who visited one of the centers in Ikorodu reported that there are long queues of prospective buyers who were unable to make payments due to the inadequate number of machines. One of the vendors, Mr. Debo Adebi, told NAN that arrangement with Lagos State was for each vendor to have a POS machine. We have some challenges, and what are those challenges? One, the payment system needs to be improved. Yes, the payment system needs to be improved, and it also needs to be open to everyone. So, POS operators, there's business for you. Start finding your way to any of the centers where discounted food is taking place, so that you can also make money as others are making money as well. On the second thought, I'm now thinking we have discounted food markets now. So those ones that their prices, is there no a way that we can just have, let everybody, rather than just having a special market? Because you see, the other day some people died because of stampede. So rather than just having a special market for discounted food, is there not a way where we can just have a situation where everybody or everyone in Lagos State or everyone is selling at a, All right, let's move on. Niger Republic suspend military cooperation with US with immediate effect. This Niger Republic, these guys, they give ginger. Yeah. Now, if suspend military cooperation with US, we now want. Okay, let's talk about that a bit. All right. The pact allowed U.S. military personnel and civilian defense staff to operate from Niger, which plays a central role in the military's operation in Africa, Sahel region, and is home to major air base. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but this story is not okay. Niger has suspended its military agreement with the United States with immediate effect, according to the ruling military spokesman, Colonel Amadio Abdrahmani, in a blow to U.S. security interests in the region. The pact allowed U.S. military personnel and civilian defense staff to operate from Niger, which plays a central role in the U.S. military operations in Africa's Sahel region and is home to a major airbase. The decision, announced on Saturday, came after senior U.S. officials led by Assistant Secretary of the State for African Affairs, Molly Fee, and U.S. African Command Head General Michael Langley visited the West African country earlier this week to discuss democratic transition. Speaking on local television, Abdurrahmane said the U.S. delegation did not follow the diplomatic protocol and that Niger was not informed about the composition of the delegation, the date of its arrival, or the agenda. AI Jazeera. AI Jazz. Oh my God, help me. Please pardon me. Please pardon me. AI Jazeera reports with new agencies. Niger regrets the intention of the American delegation to deny the sovereign the sovereign Nigerian people the right to choose their partners and types of partnership capable of truly helping them fight against terrorism. Abdurrahmane said. All right. What's your take on that? As I move on quickly. All right, I have less than 2 minutes. So, okay, 2 disguised as beggars to rob passerby in Lagos. I heard this story this morning, and yes, I'm glad that they were arrested. Operative of the Lagos State Police Command have arrested 2 men who disguised as beggars to rob passerby in the Lekki area of the state. The suspects were also accused of robbing people in traffic along the Lekki-Ajah Expressway. Very good for them. The suspects Olumide Oladeji and Lekon Ibrahim were arrested by detectives from Ilesan Police Station on Friday after a victim raised an alarm about their presence. The state police public relation Benjamin Hudeyi said the suspect attacked a passenger while in traffic in the Agungi area of Lekki. Hudeyi said the 2 men who disguised as beggars had allegedly approached a victim during which they forcefully collected his phone and his gold necklace. The victim quickly alerted the patrolmen of Ilesan Division stationed at Jakonde roundabout. They quickly swung into action and arrested the suspect. All items stolen from the victim were recovered from the suspect, he added. Now, when I heard this news this morning, the first thing that came to my mind was, yes, a good commendation to the very policemen that were stationed at the Jakonde axis, the Jakonde roundabout. And you see, that is why we need more of, our policemen stationed at different locations so that when things like this occurs, when things like this comes up, there would be quick intervention. Yes, good for them that they were arrested, and for all phones and properties that will be recovered, hopefully the owners will get them back no matter how long. So if you have their whatever it is, let's try and see how we can get them back to the owners. If not, it's all good that they've been arrested and they've learned their lesson and they would face the wrath of the law. So please, let's have more police, especially not just Jack on the roundabout. Let's have them in a Ajah bus stop. Let's have them at different locations for quick intervention of, cases like this and many other unrest in the community. All right, I'll take my last story this morning, and I'll do that in less than 1 minute, which it says here, inflation pushing us out of business. Traders lament persistent price hike. Inflation is pushing many people out of business. So traders have decried the unprecedented hike in prices of commodities, saying the market system has become so unpredictable. Nigeria has recorded an average of about 28.2% increase in the price of major food items within the last few months. The situation has plunged the citizens to a financial crisis. A financial crisis fueled by hyperinflation. A market survey carried out on food prices by Daily Post across the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and its outskirts indicated that the prices of food items have been on a steady rise in the last few months. The food items monitored include yam, rice, beans, vegetable oil, palm oil, tomatoes, pepper, maize, onion, and millet. Others are noodles, spaghetti, sugar, wheat flour, meat, gari wheat, and guinea corn. A cross-section of traders in the FCT market and its outskirts spoke to Daily Post about their experiences orchestrated by the current economic realities in the various lines of business. A skincare consultant at the Mararaba market, an outskirts of the city, Uche Ikechukwu, said the current economic situation had almost put them out of business. People no longer can afford skincare routine, paparazzi. I don't get customers like I used to. My customers are cutting down on skincare purchase to prioritize other essentials like food, normal transportation, and that is affecting sales significantly. Restocking has become a daunting task as costs continue to soar, he said. Okay. Do you know that 3 days ago I bought a carton of spaghetti for 13,000 naira. Today I was told it was 14,000 naira. Now you added to the cost of each one today. By the time you return, the price will be the price will have gone up again. So you will be forced to add more money. A bag of beans is now 120,000 naira for beans, whereas it was 70,000 naira before. Beans, that is the food for the poor. When there's no option, we just revert back to beans. Beans. Hey, Jesus is Lord. Those of us that like eating beans and bread for subsidy, no, not subsidy. Those that like using beans and bread to, we just eat beans and bread in the morning and that's all for the day. Now, it says here, I used to operate an online business. I'm just skipping some of the things just to take some figures. It has packed up. Wow. There's no gain on any business in Nigeria like before anymore. I am just striving to survive. Now, it says a bag of rice 5 months ago was around 49,000 naira, but has increased to 68,000 naira. As of yesterday, my supplier said it has risen to 70,000 naira. The cheapest thing we used to buy before, gari, is now 2,500 naira for a paint. It was 800 naira before. Another trader simply identified as Wumi. The government needs to come to our aid. Now everything is hard. A bag of beans is now 65,000 naira, which is 3 times the price it used to be. Also, granite oil is now 8,400 naira. Okay. Yeah, you can take that. Oh, a lot of figures there. You can go to the Daily Post. My duty is to bring you abreast, to inform you, to make you become aware of what is really happening in our nation, to bring your attention, to draw your attention to some of the stories in our newspaper, to some of the stories making the rounds this every Monday. Yes, my duty is to do that, to bring you abreast, to give you information, to draw your attention, to make you become aware of what is going on, what the newspapers are talking about. This doesn't and should not end there. I would advise you on any of the stories I've raised. You can go and read more on them on several platforms, online, offline, paper, whichever way, and also do well to join us every Monday morning. Yes, as I leave you this beautiful Monday morning, I'll be back by 1 p.m. We'll be having our estate launch. Yes, today. It must have started as I speak to you right there in the beautiful city of Asaba. Billionaires Island Phase 7 is being launched. Yeah. Phase 5. Sorry, I was looking at the logo 7, our 7th anniversary. I've not eaten this morning. Don't mind me. That is why. Somebody saying that, no, I didn't smoke anything. No. If I smoke, I thought it's smoked fish. So, yes. Today happens to be the official launch of Billionaires Island Phase 5. Do well to subscribe. Do well to invest. Do well to take advantage of another opportunity to be part of Billionaires on Billionaires Island. All right. On that note, thank you, everyone. God bless you all. I'll be back again by 1 p.m. Yo, I love you. Mwah. Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.